If you have ever wondered why it is that some women just seem to have it all together, they just seem to always look so polished and elegant, like, what am I doing wrong? Is it just that their life is so much better than mine? That's why they seem to have it all together and I feel like I don't? Or is there a little more to the story? And I would argue it's the latter. There is quite a bit more to the story. And that's what we're going to talk about today. The routines and daily habits that these women do that contribute to looking polished and put together pretty much all of the time. The first one, I know you're going to be irritated with me because I feel like it's in every list of everything that someone's telling you to do, but it really is that important. And it's one of the number one things I feel like you can do, and that is to get adequate sleep. Sleep is such a hot topic because it can be very hard to come by for many people, but very important things happen in our body at the cellular level when we're sleeping. We produce collagen, which of course is going to help with our wrinkles. It helps to keep us from getting dark circles that are from lack of sleep. Now, there's obviously like genetic and skin related darker circles, but the ones that come from inadequate sleep can be reduced by getting, well, adequate sleep. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Which of course then leads to, like, your eyes are going to be brighter. You are going to have more energy, which is going to make you appear more peppy, up, happy. I am out of the days of little babies and waking up all night with children, though, unless somebody's sick. But most of the time we manage to get a good night's sleep. But for years, I am like, every time I find a study, I am emailing it to my husband, texting it to him, telling him to read it, because studies do prove that women need more sleep than men on average. So 7 to 9 hours a night. And I know many of you night owls and stuff are like, oh, that doesn't happen, but really is something that I feel like needs to be prioritized. I know what a huge difference it makes for me and how I feel. If you have a masterclass membership, there's actually a really great masterclass in there on sleep. Dr. Huberman's done some great podcasts on sleep. So I'll link to some resources, not just telling you to sleep, but like giving you help and how to do that. I'm an influencer, though y'all know I don't love that word, but I am an influencer, and I'm here to tell you that what works for one won't always work for another. It's very easy to find someone that you really like or admire or feel like, wow, she seems to take great care of her skin. What is she doing? I want to do what she does. That can obviously translate depending on the type of products, but there are a lot of specific issues that we have that are not individual, as in like they're completely unique and no one else has them, just that we don't all struggle with the same things, whether it's, you know, acne or pores or redness or dark spots on our skin, whether it's just dullness in our skin, elasticity. Everyone's kind of got their own set of issues when it comes to skincare. Finding the right skincare for you, there are definitely some great, what I consider to be like universal products, meaning they're going to work for everybody because what they do is something that everybody would want, need, could use, likely everybody, especially for my ladies that are in their like 40 plus era. Though I wish I would have started using some of these things earlier, but I have to tell you that in the 40 plus is really when I feel like you really start to prioritize skincare and products and things that actually work and make a difference. I also want to point out that looking polished and put together and elegant doesn't necessarily mean that you wear a lot of makeup or maybe even any makeup at all. That's where the great skincare and finding the right skincare for you comes into the picture, because doing things to take great care of our skin, that kind of like, I woke up like this vibe, I think that's what we all want. You know, we want to feel our best even with no makeup on. That's where the skincare comes in. And like I said, universal products, like one of my favorite products that I have shared with you guys for, I don't know, probably like a year and a half. It's the Blooming Face Pro. This is the new 2.0 version, which is amazing because it has warmth. The previous edition didn't have the warmth setting. This one does. The red is what I use, which is for anti-aging, but you can hear this is one of those products that, whether you are a big makeup wearer or not, is going to give you amazing results, instant results. That's one of my favorite things, is I want a product that I don't have to use it for 6 months to see a result. I can do one half of my face and show you the difference in what the Blooming Face Pro is going to do as far as how tight, lifted, decreasing the puffiness in my face. The warmth on the anti-age setting is just, oh, it's so great. And the best part, you only need to use it consistently, using it like for 3 minutes 3 times a week. Not hard, not cumbersome, not time consuming. Something that you could do while you're sitting there in bed scrolling or in the morning as part of your like morning rituals and habits and stuff. This tool is just, I think, one of those universal things that so many women could benefit from, see results from, and be able to use regularly, continue to feel like, look, even if I'm not wearing makeup, my skin is feeling tighter, more lifted, I'm feeling depuffed. Every time I share this, it sells out, which is amazing because so many of y'all have this and love it too. But if you don't have it and you want to try it, you can use the link down below in my description box. This device is normally $300. With the link, you'll get $200 off, but it's only for the first 100 people. Plus, you're gonna get their free ebook that's all about face tightening secrets. My favorite part, because I just love when companies stand by their product. If you don't love it, if you don't get the results that you want to get from this, you get your money back. You get a full refund. Blue Mean stands behind their product. I love this product. I've given one to my mother. I've gifted her one. Cough, cough, Mother's Day is coming up. I've gifted her one. I have one. We both love them. It's just a great universal device that would work for so many different people, even if you're not big into makeup and things like that. Now, that brings me to the next point. People don't like to talk about this because I think we all have a lot of trauma surrounding it, okay? But we do have to discuss it, and that is eyebrows. Eyebrows have caused many of us a lot of strife over the years. I too am a victim of the over-plucking years of the 2000s, all right? Where we plucked our eyebrows into oblivion, okay? It was bad, it wasn't great. The eyebrows are pulling a lot of weight on our face, all right? They're doing a lot of work. They're doing a lot of the heavy lifting for our entire face. They're doing a lot of framing. They can really make a difference in our overall appearance. We all have fallen victim, maybe you haven't, but I have. I'll speak for myself. Not only over-plucking, but then over-filling them in, too bold. I mean, eyebrows go through like just constant trending changes like anything else, but just having a nicely shaped, cleaned up, and maybe just filling them in a little bit. I would argue that it's one of the #1 things that I see when someone feels like, well, how come my makeup doesn't look like this person's or that person's? There's 2 reasons for that, but one of them is often that this person doesn't fill in their eyebrows. Maybe they dye their hair darker or whatever, and their eyebrows have stayed a lighter, almost off. The balance isn't quite right. I mean, we all know this with fashion and with makeup and anything else. It's really about creating nice balance and symmetry. So our eyebrows, again, are doing a lot of heavy lifting for us. So even if you're not a makeup wearer, doing things like potentially going somewhere and reputable to get your eyebrows waxed, maybe even dyed. I personally use men's beard dye for my eyebrows. That is how I dye my eyebrows at home. It's very easy to do. The results are great for me. It just helps to kind of keep everything balanced where even if I'm not wearing makeup that day, I'm not gonna fill them in with a pencil, that I still feel like they look good. Now, #4 is if you are gonna wear makeup, all right, this is all, remember, we're going with the like, how do we look more polished and put together? If you are gonna wear makeup, finding the right balance. Again, I'm a big just believer in balance. If I'm going heavier, like smoky eye, then I'm going lighter on the lip, lighter color. I might even go matte on the lip. I'm trying not to compete too much, eyes and lips. There's always a balance. If I'm gonna wear a red lip, then I usually, if I'm wearing especially like a very bold or bright red lip, I'm gonna go much lighter on the eyes, maybe just lips and lashes. I'm always trying to find balance with makeup. As much as I love makeup and love to apply it, less is more. Most of the time, especially if you're in that 40+ range, we can feel tempted to use products to cover up every issue, but in reality, we're just making it worse. So there are lots of great makeup artists and stuff to follow, but just be careful that you're following people that are either applying makeup to mature skin if you're in that range, or have mature skin themselves and are showing you what they do, because I got news for you in case you didn't know this already. What works for the youngins does not work for us with mature skin and aging skin. Everyone's skin is aging, but you know what I mean. Taking a little bit of time to find what the right colors are for you, what the best kind of placement and application based on your face shape and stuff, that's all gonna make a difference in how your overall look is. When in doubt, less is more. Maybe just do a mascara and a lip gloss. If you're wanting some makeup, but you don't want to go full bore, fill in those eyebrows, pop a little mascara on, put a little lip gloss on. That's going to make a world of difference if you're wanting makeup, but you just don't want to like go overboard. All right, I'm going to say this, and this is not meant to spark a fight or an argument or controversy. Hear what I'm saying. Let me give you the whole sentence before you come throwing tomatoes at me, all right? Gray hair. If you want to rock your gray hair, awesome. If you want to cover it, awesome. Here's where we run into problems. When we are wanting to cover our gray hair, but our gray hair is fighting back hard. We are going too long between appointments or dyeing our hair at home, and we're getting that rigid, harsh line. The last time I saw my hairstylist, she too joined me in my shock and horror for the fact that I feel like in the last year, my gray hair, especially here in the front, went from like 30% to like 80%. But I have basically like a white hair. So when my hair starts to grow out from hair dye, it is harsh. So what I usually do, if you're a middle parter, that is going to be very harsh, all right? Because you've got that straight middle part, you're seeing that line. Automatically, I think we can all agree that that just doesn't look very polished. It doesn't look very elegant. If that's the goal, we're not getting there with that. Couple things. One, when I'm getting to that point, I try to part my hair on the side. I'm gonna cover up a little bit better than a middle part. And again, also, I don't care what any 22-year-old on TikTok or Instagram tells you. Middle parts only look good on people with certain face shapes and symmetry. If you are attempting a middle part because some youngster told you that side parts are out, I hate that lie that is being sold that like everybody has to have a middle part, because it just quite frankly is not fitting for a lot of people's face shapes. Middle parts are hard to wear because they are so harsh and bring so much direct attention to how symmetrical our faces actually are or are not. Root dyes at home, I love the pen. I will link it. I do not remember if it's Revlon or L'Oreal, but it is like a pen. I will use that and just touch up this front area right there. That's it. I also will use the powders. I have the Color Wow powder as well as Got Roots Touch Up powder. I like them both. This one is auburn and it does match my hair color better than the Color Wow one. But those are great for touching up that gray, but just making sure that, again, the goal is polished and elegant and put together. What we're not going to see on women who we feel like embody that is really harsh lines. At some point, I will give up on dyeing my hair. I'm not there yet. I'm 40. I'm just not there yet. But someday I'll get there. If you don't want to buy a root product, by the way, you can also use eyeshadow. You don't have to buy something that's specific for roots. You can use a good eyeshadow. Just test it. Make sure that it's actually going to stay and not like sweat down your forehead and stuff like that. Give it a test at home. You can totally use eyeshadow if you want to save money on not buying a root product. All right, now this next one is one that I know to be true, even though I do not always follow this rule, and that is wearing flattering clothes. We talk about this a lot in style-related videos and things, but a lot of women, we fall prey to buying things that are too big for us and because we feel like we're hiding underneath them, when in actuality, it's making us look sloppier, less put together, and it's not flattering us in any way. I get it, all right? Postpartum with my twins, I don't think you could have paid me to put on a tight shirt. I'm just telling you, I'm a big proponent of the rules are best broken by those who know them. So oversized clothing, there's always some kind of trend related to oversize. So you kind of have to decide what you feel like you want to play into. But I would just say intentionality with anything that we are dressing ourselves in. If we're wanting to look elegant, polished, put together, then there's obviously got to be thought into that. And I would argue that most of the time for most women, choosing styles that are flattering on your body shape, trendy or not, is going to be what makes you look your best and feel your best. If you're not sure of your body shape, if you were told something a long time ago, but since having kids and stuff, you're not sure, I do have a free body shape workbook for you. You can go down below in the description box and grab that. It's totally free. It's going to walk you through how to take the measurements, what exact measurements to take, and then the mathing of how to figure out your true body shape. So it's important to know that because knowledge just helps us make better decisions. So knowing that information is going to help you. And there's also some information in there about if you are this body type, here's some things to look for. Here's some things that will flatter you. Here's some things that you might want to avoid. The next one hurts me personally because I have struggled with this for a really long time, though working out more consistently and things has helped with that. But it's posture. All right, again, think about polished, elegant, pulled together women. They're not usually hunched over like this and like, they are usually upright. It almost like reads as this like confidence and air, and often it's just great posture. And so posture is important. It matters a lot in how the kind of overall look and vibe, if we're maybe doing something a little oversized or baggy and we've got great posture, we're not slouching with it too, we look less like something from Mallrats and more elegant and polished. Next is paying attention to the details. Are there, and I mean details like head to toe, okay? Are there buttons missing? Are there pulls in your sweater? Is your sweater very like bobbly, okay? Does it have all the little sweatery bobbles on it? There are easy fixes for these things, by the way. Both the sweater pulls, the bobbles. I feel like, this is a personal opinion of mine, one of the #1 culprits is nail polish, is chipped nail polish. I struggle with this because I do love dark nail polish, but I'll tell you, I feel instantly less polished when I'm wearing like dark nail polish and it's all chipped, or even like a red nail polish like this and it's all chipped, okay? It's something that draws our attention way more than it probably should, but it just does because it seems out of place. That's why it catches our eye. And so having nicely manicured nails, I do my nails at home. I don't go to a salon. I do gel manicures at home with a little lamp. And I've really spent like the last year with one of my teenage daughters, like trying a whole bunch of different stuff and kind of mastering what works for each of us, our lifestyle, our nails. And it's been fun. We both really love it. If you feel like it's something that you are running into a lot, couple suggestions. One, go no nail polish. Just give yourself a nice manicure. Take good care of your natural nails. There is an influencer that I follow that I love her style. And one thing I noticed about her in following her for years is that she never, ever has polish on her fingernails. She has polish on her toes a lot of times in her sandals and stuff. Never any polish on her fingernails. Her nails are nicely manicured. I'm guessing that she just doesn't want to deal with it in the upkeep, so she just chooses none. But when choosing none, that's a fine choice, by the way. Keeping still the nails beds themselves and everything manicured, a nice cuticle oil, something that we're keeping things hydrated and moisturized, especially us moms who are washing our hands a million times a day. Just a nice hand lotion, a little cuticle oil goes a long, long way if you are going to go natural. Even if you're not, we should be doing those things, right? That's another thing that I feel like kind of helps this whole symbiotic, relationship of all of these things, like pulling it all together, having nicely manicured nails, whether they're painted or not. Next tip is to accessorize wisely. We can all heed Clary's advice. The only thing that separates us from the animals is our ability to accessorize. And there's a lot of truth to that, but we must accessorize wisely, okay? We must strike a balance like everything else with our earrings, our bracelets. We do not have to be matchy-matchy. We don't have to have matching sets of things, but we do need to make some coordination decisions, okay? For example, this little bracelet, wrap bracelet I'm wearing today has got some pearls and stuff on it, and then I've got my little pearl earrings. But I didn't also do a pearl necklace. I just went with gold. One thing I love about 2025 fashion trends is that some bolder, more statement necklaces are coming back, which I've always loved. And so I'm not one to necessarily follow whatever the trends are. If it's something that I love, I find ways to incorporate it, whether it's in or out, technically. We can make strategic decisions about the type of jewelry that we're wearing, depending on what we're wanting to accentuate, what we're wanting to kind of draw the eye away from. Nice long necklace can help draw attention away from your hips, kind of more up here. If we wear like a simple necklace but bolder earrings, we can pull attention away from this like bust area and up to the face. We can really kind of change where the attention is drawn on our body based on the accessories that we're choosing. And the last one, as cheesy as it sounds, a friendly attitude, a smile. It's really just the choice that we're making to be a pleasant person to encounter in the real world, in the wild, okay? Some people wake up and choose violence, okay? They choose to not be pleasant people. They choose to go out into the world, whether it's at a coffee shop or a store, whether they're working or a customer, and just be ugly, okay? Just be ugly. And listen, no amount of makeup, hair, accessories, style can make you attractive if you are ugly on the inside. All right. So being a attractive person on the inside is going to bleed over into the outside. Once you actually get to know people, obviously you can't necessarily know things from online, just seeing them, but once you actually interact with people in person, people who might physically be less attractive become more attractive when they are kind and nice people. We are drawn to them in a way, and people who maybe are more attractive but nasty people, we are like, ugh, like it just doesn't, it's not a Band-Aid, okay? Being handsome or pretty is not going to fix it if you're ugly on the inside. All right. So that to me probably should be number one because it makes a world of difference. I hope that you found these tips helpful. Again, don't forget, if you want to figure out what your body shape is, if you're not entirely sure, you can grab my free guide in the description box. And if you want to grab the Blue Mean Face Pro 2.0, the new one, which is amazing, again, for the first 100 people, you're going to get $200 off. Check the description box. Plus, you're going to get a free ebook that's all about like face tightening secrets. Thank you so much for being here. Hopefully you will subscribe and stick around, and I will see you again very soon.